Alright, welcome back, Team DWC. It's your boy TWP Popcorn. Y'all already know what time it is. 10 a.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday, aka another day in paradise. Y'all already know we got some videos to review, updates in the green room, all types of stuff to get into. So we're gonna go and see what we got popping here in a minute. But y'all already know we're gonna start these videos because that's what we do.
YouTube was with it, man. It's your boy Neo Cannabis, and I'm back with another video. In this video today, I'm going to explain why California has the best weed, and if you are a aspiring cannabis brand owner or even a current cannabis brand owner, why you need to be sourcing your product from California. In a previous video, there was a lot of chatter in the comments, people claiming their state has the best weed, but in this video, I'm going to explain why. It's just no debate. California has the best weed and is number one as far as producing cannabis, cannabis culture, anything revolving around the cannabis industry. California holds that top spot. So if you are new to this channel, my name is Neo Cannabis. In 2018, I started a licensed cannabis delivery service based in Oakland, California. Within 2 years, I scaled that business into a 7-figure operation. Today, I teach cannabis entrepreneurs, current and prospective, how to start and scale their own cannabis businesses. So if this sounds like something that you would be interested in, please like, share, comment, subscribe. You do not want to miss out. Also, for anything revolving around this cannabis industry, I am your source, whether that's vendors, collabs, consultations, free resources. Hit my email, neocannabis1@gmail.com, and I will get you right. So without further ado, let's hop into this video. And like I mentioned, there was a lot of chatter in the comments of a previous video where I had mentioned very briefly that California is number one in my opinion, but a lot of people had their own opinions for their state that they're in. I was hearing like Michigan, Virginia, New York, Florida, Oregon. There's a plethora of states, but in this video, I'm going to explain why that is not the case and California is number one, and it's not even close. So first of all, genetics, strains. California is notorious for producing and creating the best strains that we have today. Strains like Runts, Purple Punch, Blue Dream, Cookies, Sunset Sherbet, OG Kush, Granddaddy Perp, Gelato, all these different iconic strains were all created in California. So just that point alone, I don't know any other state that has a list of strains, a resume similar to California. Nowadays, all of these candy strains, they're all cut from gelatos. And of course, like that strain, 9 times out of 10, it was created in California. When Lemon Cherry Gelato was running the game, when the Gelatos was running the game, the Runts, the Granddaddy Perps, the OG Cushes.
I bet you got a lot of arguments about that in the comments. Hold on. Wait a minute. I forgot. We're on YouTube. We can stop and check. Let's see. Shouts out to liking the video, commenting, and all that good stuff. Let's see if he got some pushback about that. He got about 1K views. And we had some good. See. This is the good thing about it. Being a review video, we can actually review the comments and other things. He's only got 49 comments, so this won't take long. Right, I'm rolling up anyway, so hopefully you got one or two twisted. You know how I say, hopefully you got some pre-rolls. I gotta roll mine as I smoke them, because that's how we ride. Hell, it might be 30 blunts today, but hell, we gonna roll and keep it pushing. So let's see comments. Oklahoma, they said they got some good ones on from Texas. Yeah. Honorable mentions. Jamaican, Afghanistan, Amsterdam, blah 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 blah. Ultra facts. He agrees with the California got some good stuff. I mean, they did support the Chronic, and we do support the Chronic. So, my brother-in-law grew up in the mountains in the Himalayas. Okay, so he grew up in the Himalayan mountains, so that ain't even nowhere near California. Is one not the only state where land-raised sativas can finish flowering. Yeah, California is built for the land-raised strains. Shouts out to them. They got that advantage because just the generalized area. Let's see. Cali is king. Yeah. Humboldt. Shouts out to Humboldt, though. They doing ATHING, aka that thing. Blue Dream. San Diego. Left Cali and brought their genetics. I mean, a lot of the Cali growers did leave because, hell, staying in California is crazy. Unless you actually making the money to just stay out there and not care. Cali culture is unmatched. I lived there in 2010 and stayed, and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, a lot of people most of the comments ain't too far from agreeing, but hell, everybody gonna rep where they from or where they feel better weed is anyway. So let's keep it going.
All of those were created in California, so just that point alone just shows it's not even close. I don't know any other state or even country, if you want to talk internationally, that has that resume, that list of iconic strains that are so prevalent in our culture today. If anybody has any type of argument
big homie coming through
within the comments, I'll take a look at it, but I do not think it even comes close when you're talking about California. And maybe you guys don't even know that all of these strains were created in California. When we talk about the gelatos, the sunset sherbets, the all of these strains, it's a plethora of different strains that have dominated the game year in and year out. And we cycle through them, and one thing remains similar between all of these hot strains is that they were created in California because we have the best genetics, we have the best experts, the best cultivators, the best growing techniques, and also we have the best weather if you're talking about outdoor cultivation. So that leads me to my next point. When you talk about culture, again, it does not come close. If you know anything about California, Humboldt County, that is notorious for being the top producer in the world of cannabis. At one point, I believe like 10, 20 years ago, Humboldt County was estimated to produce at least 20 to 30% of all cannabis in the world. Just that one county in California. So if there's any other place in the world that is responsible for cannabis culture similar to Humboldt County, let me know, because I don't see any type of competition. And a lot of people may not know, if you go to Humboldt County, like you're just going up there, you don't know who you're supposed to network with, who to tap in with, you can literally be killed. There's stories of people going up to Humboldt County and never being found again because they take cannabis that serious. It's such of a sacred art. It's so important to them. This culture, cannabis, is people who are literally killed for going up there, either not knowing what they're doing, what they're getting into, talking to the wrong people, and they've never been seen again. So you have to take that into account when you're talking about culture. Again, it doesn't even come close. Please let me know another state that at one point was responsible for 20 to 30% of all cannabis. There's literally no other state. My last point, when you talk about the recreational market, California reigns supreme. I believe in 2023, this is just recreationally, California did over $5 billion in recreational sales. The closest state next to that was Michigan. I believe they did like 2.9 to $3 billion. But that is misleading because it doesn't even account for market probably produces another $2 to $3 billion in sales. can't account for that. You go to LA, there's all these dispos, there's all these grow operations. We don't even know how much cannabis is sold on the black market in California. But even in the recreational market, it's not even close. And I know people are going to say, oh, that's because we have the most people. But you have to think, we still have the biggest brands. You talk about Stizzy, you talk about Cookies, you talk about West Coast Cure, Alien Labs, Backpack Boys, Runts. We reign supreme in culture, in having the top brands. And if you are a top brand, or you want to be a top brand, you have to establish yourself in this California market to be legitimized and to be taken seriously. Also, for all my trappers, when you talk about the black market, I've never heard anybody say, I met the plug in Michigan, or I met the plug in Florida, or I met the plug in New York. You always hear, I met the plug in Cali, or I met the plug in Humboldt. That just shows that anytime you talk about good weed, it's associated automatically with California. Again, that just proves that California is number one. I know you guys have a lot of pride in some of your other states, and sometimes people get emotional over this, but I'm just stating facts. California, as far as having the best cannabis, being number one in the world, it's not even close. I don't know any other state that has a resume as far as culture, as far as strains, as far as recreational sales, as far as black market sales, that can even compete. If you want to let me know what you think in the comments, if you agree with me, if you have another type of argument. I heard some people saying Michigan. What are some top strains for Michigan? Can you please let me know? Do you have anything close to gelato? Do you have anything close to Runts, Sunset Sherbet, Girl Scout Cookies, Blue Dream, Granddaddy? We dominated the old school strains, and we also dominated this new age of strains, all the candy flavors, the lemon cherries, the Runts. They all come from California. They're all cuts of gelato, and that all attributes back to California. So again, please let me know what you think. Not gonna keep you guys too long. If this video provided you any type of value, please like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. And until next time, peace. I'm out.
Until next time, peace. I'm out.
Can be quite relaxing.
Everybody run for your lives! The Grim Reaper is tending the garden again! Grim,
You're fucking fired. Shouts out to the big homie Zaza. Y'all know he recently did an interview over on Higher Desert Exotics. Y'all know to check that out too.
Another banger. One thing I would have to say is imperative to your inbred line is inheritable traits. Inheritable traits in grasping the concept is vital to the success of your inbred line. I mean, just think about it. Inheritable traits are traits that are passed down through generations. This is why ancestry is so important, because when we look at the ancestry in the family tree, we get to see some of the players in the game who hold some of the traits we may be interested in. And the most beautiful thing about artificial selection is at the present moment, you determine the traits that are passed down moving forward. You get to shape the ultimate destiny of the line you're creating, right? Whatever your desired outcome is the outcome that will be the end result. With that being said, there's so many fish in the sea. How do we pick the right female?
Like I said, twist two and keep it moving.
I kind of gave you a hint already. Definitely has to do with lineage and ancestry. Priority, number one. But today, we'll look at some other things that you want to focus on when selecting and picking a female or mother for your inbred line. Without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, you heard me? You know, turn up the leaf blower in the low. Should've been a hippie, should've been a shot. Prayer with no dread, lock, who ya?
Another thing, don't forget to join the Discord.
comes to selecting males and females, typically males are much more challenged, right? We talked about in a previous video, similar to determining what a female's bra size would be by looking at her father, right? Because ultimately in these plants we want female, right? First and foremost, super important, athleticism, vigor is always my number one. You have to understand that I choose vigor as my number one even when I see other things that are really appealing, right? I will throw plants away that may seem perfect for one or another reason to trade it for really good vigor and athleticism. And it's a reason, right? When we pick the most vigorous athletic plants, it comes along with mold resistance, drought resistance, pest resistance. You know, they come hand in hand. So it's a lot of pluses, and we understand that traits are independently assorted. So whenever you can focus on one individual trait and then grab several along with it, you want to take advantage. And vigor is sort of that trait that I always focus on number one, because like I said, it comes along with some really other awesome traits that we can almost guarantee that would be already fixed in the line if we have an athletic. And it's kind of like if you were choosing through a population of athletes or basketball players, right? If you had 100 to choose from, you would run them through series of tests and practices and summer camps, right? In order to determine which out of these 100 are the LeBron James of the group. And that's the one we want to look for. We want to look for the abnormally athletic or abnormally vigorous. Beginning in the intro, we opened up with lineage, pedigree, family tree. It's that important, right? It always has to be the number one focus even before we've made our selection. So that's kind of why I put it in the intro, to remind you guys that first and foremost, before you make a choice, you need to look at a series of options and do your research based on family tree and lineage, because everything we do is based on inheritable traits. Those traits that are passed down from our ancestors to the present generation. The present generation is who we are working with, the artificial selection that we are creating, the traits that we're isolating. So with that being said, all the work that we do today determines the traits that are passed down to future generations, which traits that are inherited by the future offspring. So you have all the power and control. In order to make a really good educated decision on selecting some of those traits and even being able to kind of see what options we may have or where a good starting point, we use the ancestors, right? We might find some familiar names. We might find some familiar players in the game that we can say, hey, oh, wow, as a great-great-grandfather, I'm familiar with this particular strain, and it possesses these terps, this profile, the structure, for the most part, exposing some recessive traits I'll be able to find and reintroduce or fix that trait back into the current generation. So once you've actually done your pedigree research, you've done your family trees, you went through a series of options, right? And you boiled it down, right? It's not an egg, right? Is that the term we're looking for? Boiled it? All right, well, either way, you boiled it down to the one option based on pedigree, family tree, and traits that can be inherited from some of the past ancestors. You want to make sure you have a good bud structure as well, right? Females should have good bud structure. You don't want any anomalies. You don't want any mutants, right? Unless it's something you're purposely so unique, you're just purposely trying to create. Other than that, you want something with a solid structure, right? When typically, if you've got good lineage, athleticism and vigor, good structure, you're off to a really good start, man. You're off to a really good start, and you can almost guarantee that you won't have to do any backwards work of removing undesirable traits. We don't want to do backwards work and work backwards. We want to make the right decisions in the very beginning so we can move forward. Forward. We don't, I understand that it's not a rush, right? We have all the time in the world, but we don't want to waste time either. Pest and disease resistance. Yep. Something that you can select for. And shout out to one of my subscribers. Shout out to one of my followers, my supporters. He asked a really good question. And don't get me wrong, all questions are good questions. But he asked one that was really good, and he said, I hear everybody talking about mold resistance and pest resistance. How am I supposed to breed and select for mold resistance? It's something that I can't see. So how do we do that? Everything is based on environment. This is why we stress test, right? So we can expose these traits, right? So if we are looking to expose mold resistance, then we create environments that are high, very high humidity, right? Almost a humidity is no longer a good living environment for the plant, right? And you have a number of plants in there, and from there, you'll be able to expose any weaknesses, but much more important, expose any strengths. We are always looking for vigor, hybrid vigor if possible, and we understand hybrid vigor to be heterosis. So these stress tests are ways that you can typically expose and find heterosis or hybrid vigor, that treasure chest we're looking for. And you can do it by creating these harsh. What about pests? Typically, like I said before, athleticism and vigor go hand in hand with pest resistance, mold resistance, all that good stuff. But just for the sake of maybe you want to increase mold resistance or pest resistance, then we would create environments that cause pressures specific to those issues. And if you can find a mom and dad that are both resistant, then we're off to a good start for a good outcross. But there are other ways as well, back crosses, selfing, right? We have different tools in our toolbox that we can get many things done. So, and last but not least, flower time. And flower time is a special one this week because AC Infinity had a show. I think it was a show in relation to strains that are good for new growers. So I'm not sure how Hades Throne was mentioned on that show, but shout out to Chris, Mr. Grow It. He mentioned Hades Throne. Normally it wouldn't have been mentioned on the show speaking for genetics for new growers because first I don't promote Hades Throne for new growers. I've created strains specifically for new growers. Hades Throne has direct land race lineage, right? The parents are land races. And in most cases, strains have been hybridized over time to reduce flowering time, right? To make them convenient for the grower. Now, because Hades Throne's parents are land races, and it typically will have a longer flower time, absolutely, which is the case for most land races. So it's the main reason why I don't run around promoting Hades Throne for new growers or mention it or run around. Doesn't even have artwork, right? So it's a learning experience for everybody. This is why we hybridized Hades Throne to reduce some of the flowering time, and we created what is known as Dead Ops OG. Shout out to Dead Ops OG, won I think 6 awards this year. Like 5 or 4 first place and 2 second place. 4 first place, 2 second place. On 2 different occasions, it won first and second place, same category. So that's the one that we would recommend for newer growers. Unfortunately, it didn't make the list on that show. But shout out to the gang over there at AC Infinity. Much love to y'all, man. I'm glad we were able to clear that up as far as Haiti's throne and the long flowering time, because it absolutely does have a longer flower time. You know, I see Rob mention that he would never grow it. No, I have other stuff. I have a lot of other good stuff with less flowering time. Haiti's throne is more legendary, right? When we think of the Bacal hash plant, created some of the most legendary hashes
It
around
says
the
like
world
16
for
weeks.
centuries. So, you know,
Oh, shit.
you'll be glad to look. And on the other side is the Uzbekistan land race. That concludes our show, man. That concludes our show. I hope you got something useful when it comes to choosing your first female. Make sure you.
Shouts out to the Blade Races, though. Y'all know the big holy
Down
DJ is.
to answer some
He
questions.
be
And
really on them.
make sure you comment. Like
I know
and
to go check
subscribe.
out
How
the
you show
big
me love
homie,
and
though. He
support.
one of our video
Show me
sponsors, so
appreciation for
you know how
work
we
that I
do.
put in, man. The algorithm is back, you know? I'm back. So, much love to y'all. Visit ZazaGenetics.com. Use code COMSHOW for an additional 30% off on top of the already discounted prices. And visit ACinfinity.com. Use code Team Zaza. We'll give you 15% off that checkout. And it helps me get a little kickback as well. So, much love for all the support. Make sure you check out the Com Show each weekend, Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern. With me, my brother 703, and my brother Blunt Society from South Africa, man. We live each weekend on Twitch, Saturday, 11 p.m. And much love to Team Zaza YouTube, who will now be filming.
ZZ.
Y'all heard Lil Zai, right? It ain't about this time. Every time he jumps in, he wants to meet y'all. So get up with us Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern. Come meet Lil Zai in person so you can curse him out for me, man. Much love. I love you, gang. Thank you for your support. I see the comments. Keep them coming. Keep them rolling. We got a giveaway coming. So stay tuned. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Until we meet again. Bye.
This is my first layer of color. I need to maybe go back and fill in a few little spaces, but I'm supposed to start with the light color first and the skin first if I can. Well, really the lightest color on the page first, and the skin appears to be the lightest color on the page. And yep, this is my first layer. I'm going to go on to my second layer. So here is my second layer, starting to do some
Shouts out to our Bob Me a Coffee member. She getting into new hobbies and stuff. Y'all see she working on some coloring books. Hey, you gotta have your hobbies. Enjoy the time you got to spend where you want it to go.
So right now, I put in my darker color, and I am using my lighter colors to. I just got a few more minutes to work, and then my break is over. Bye. From a distance, which is generally how you view a picture that you framed and put on your wall, the coloring doesn't look too bad. Closer up, it looks to me like I need to do more blending, but yeah, considering it's the first adult coloring I've done, at least it's a good start.
CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. It is a currency issued directly by the central banks. It can be done on a wholesale basis, which is to essentially allow the commercial banks to issue it on a retail basis and do the management of it on retail, and then relate back to the central bank, which will be a wholesaler, or it can be done directly by the central bank doing directly a retail CBDC. The challenge with CBDC is it gives the central bankers complete control and the ability to program your money. what it does is it gives them the ability to say what you can use your money for, where you can use your money. It's called programmable money. Some people call it smart contracts. I call it very stupid contracts. But it gives you the ability to issue programmable money and do complete surveillance and control of where and how people use their money. Now, I say that CBDCs are quite dangerous, and they are. However, it's very important to
What up,
understand
Coach
that this
Sherry?
kind
Y'all ought to go
of
check out
complete
Coach Sherry. She been going live
control
morning
comes
time
about not through
and does videos
CBDCs,
other
but
points
having
through
an
the day. So go look
all-digital
for her. You
monetary
dig?
system. So what we want to stop is an all-digital monetary system, because it is possible to do the equivalent of CBDCs on a private basis. So I can use merchant codes with your bank account and your credit card. I can kick you off your online payment systems if I don't like what you're saying on social media. There are many different ways if we go to an all-digital financial system. We have digitized throughout our economy, so our homes are full of digitized equipment that can be identified and surveilled. Our cars are more and more electric. They can be stopped remotely. The thing to understand is if we go to an all-digital transaction system, financial transaction system, with a digital ID, so I can tell you're you and I'm me with great precision, then suddenly all those different digitized items and equipments and systems snap into one complete control grid. And the key to that snapping into the control grid is the digital ID and the all-digital monetary system. Now, let me tell you what that looks like, because we don't have a financial problem. We have a governance problem. If you do it in a system where a secret governance system that is non-transparent and outside of your control, if that gives them the power to basically turn on and shut off your transactions, we're in a coup d'etat world. By creating an all-digital transaction system with a digitized economy and a digital ID, suddenly the central bankers now control fiscal policy.
I'll make sure
They
I
can
comment after
determine
the
where you
live.
go, when you go. So let's go back to the pandemic. During the pandemic, if the lockdown said you can't go more than a mile from your home and you can only go that on Tuesday and Thursday, in an all-digitized economy with satellite flying overhead, they can literally track you, and if you don't do what they say, they can turn off your money. Now, what this means is you not only have usurping of the people's representatives, but you have a usurping of the state powers. So under the Constitution, the powers not delegated to the federal government are the reserves of
You
the
dig?
to the
Shout out to
states.
Homework
But now the
2025.
central
That's what we
bankers
doing.
asserting line of fiscal policy,
Listening to
making the
people
rules
that
and
are
enforcing them
experts in their
centrally,
field and who
can
decide to
literally
have
control
YouTubes. Because,
healthcare
that's
or other
beneficial
powers
to us.
reserved to the states.
It's
And
free
by
speech,
the
right?
ability to literally control your financial transactions. The way to make that transition is just say total control. If you don't eat cricket flour and synthetic meat made in the lab, we'll turn off your money. Use cash, encourage the local businesses to use cash, encourage your local banks to support cash. You can always use cash, and you can use checks. Keep the cash and check systems going.
Wow, that's Snoop Dogg, the Godfather. I hit that blunt, I'm going to see the father. Damn, Earth was cool. Oh, this gas, 93 octane. God, take me now. Hey, Cooler, he got another one sparked already. He being unreasonable. This beyond me if he think I'm finna hit that blunt again. Heavens no, I'm high, bucko. I'm pumped. I'm
Bucko.
finna give it right back to him and tell him I hit it 10 times already. I'm finna call 911 and report an attempted murder. He keep passing me blunts. He think we in a relay race. What a bummer. I'm finna put this out, and if he asks why, I'm gonna tell
He
him
did
I'm
just put
allergic
it
to
out there.
marijuana. Weed for me stand for
What up,
weed.
Michigator?
Exhale,
Y'all ought to go
I'm
check
about
out
to
the homie.
die. He gotta knock it off. I done already took 2 blunts. He done sparked a third one. Smoke monster. I'm finna play sleep. I'm comatose. Big fella, you took that blunt to the head? No, you finna be in the nearest hospital bed. This ain't the move. I'm finna scoot. He a different.
Hello, I'm Thomas Howard. Today I want you to picture this. You're waiting for a long overdue DoorDash delivery. But instead of hot pizza, you get a notice saying that your order has been delayed by endless bureaucracy. That's what cannabis reform kind of feels like right now. You might have thought that with Trump back in office, cannabis would swiftly move from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, but in these first few weeks, the signals coming in from his cabinet suggest a very different story. On the Lex Friedman podcast, Trump said medical marijuana has been amazing. I've had friends, I've had others and doctors telling me it's been absolutely amazing. At first glance, these words sound supportive, almost as if we're finally on the cusp of a long-awaited reform, but then he adds that legalization has to be done in a really concerted, lawful way. In other words, while he's open to the benefits of medical cannabis, he insists that safety, control, and strict regulation must be included. Let's step back for a moment and consider what's at stake. Under federal law, marijuana is still, 2025, classified as a Schedule 1 substance, putting it in the same category as heroin and LSD. This classification not only stifles scientific research, but also forces legal businesses to pay sky-high taxes under Section 280E of the tax code. During the Biden administration, there was real hope that the accumulation of scientific evidence would lead to a shift to Schedule 3, a category shared with drugs like Tylenol with codeine and ketamine, which would have eased research restrictions and provided much-needed tax relief. But now, with Trump back in charge, his cabinet pick suggests that we're facing a very cautious, even conservative approach to cannabis reform. Take, for example, Pam Bondi. You may or may not remember Bondi as the former Florida Attorney General who back in 2013 argued in a court brief that Florida's proposed medical marijuana amendment was misleading because it would allow use in limitless situations. Now, she's probably going to be serving as the nation's top law enforcement official. Bondi's record clearly points to an enforcement-first, cautious approach rather than a willingness to embrace sweeping reforms. Her past statements make it clear that she's not exactly a champion for federal marijuana legalization, or even smoked medical cannabis. Then there's Derek Maltz, the Trump-appointed acting administrator of the DEA. Maltz isn't a newcomer to the drug war. He brings decades of experience to his role. He's been vocal in it, saying, "It's crystal clear to me that the Justice Department hijacked the rescheduling process, placing politics above public safety." He emphasized the need for scientific evaluation, adding, "If there's scientific evidence to support this decision, then so be it. But you've got to let the scientists evaluate it." This statement isn't just standard bureaucratic language. It reflects deep-rooted skepticism within the DEA about the safety and efficacy of medical cannabis. Finally, adding an intriguing twist to the story is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., nominated to head the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy has long been an advocate for cannabis legalization and has touted its potential to generate tax revenue and improve public health. Yet, in his confirmation hearing, he stated, "I will defer to the DEA's expertise on this matter." This is a puzzling admission. The head of HHS, whose primary responsibility would be evaluating the medical benefits of cannabis, is essentially saying that the final word belongs to an agency that remains firmly opposed to any reclassification. It's like having a doctor who insists that the final diagnosis will be called by someone else. That's supposed to be your job, bro. Now you might be asking yourself, if Trump himself has expressed support for decriminalizing small amounts of marijuana, why is progress stalling? The answer lies in the internal dynamics of this administration. On one hand, Trump's rhetoric is populist. He once said in 2015, "I feel strongly about not criminalizing people for small amounts of marijuana." On the other hand, his cabinet picks, mostly Bondi and Maltz, signal a deep commitment to traditional law and order principles. Their strict views on drug policy mean that any quick move to change cannabis rules will likely get stuck in a government mess of red tape. So what are the possible outcomes? Let's explore three potential scenarios. First, the optimistic scenario, full rescheduling to Schedule 3. This outcome, despite the internal resistance, overwhelming public support, and robust scientific evidence, pushed the administration to reclassify cannabis. This would be a game changer for the industry, eliminating the harsh tax burdens posed by Section 280E and unlocking opportunities for clinical research that could lead to breakthrough treatments. Imagine a world where legal cannabis businesses could claim standard deductions and researchers could run clinical trials without drowning in red tape. Unfortunately, given the stances of Bondi and Maltz, this rapid transformation seems very unlikely. So second, we may face a prolonged incremental process. Here, the HHS issues its recommendation in favor of rescheduling based on emerging clinical data. However, when that proposal lands on the DEA's desk, Acting Administrator Maltz and his team just delay or even block change by citing concerns over public safety and the potential for abuse. This scenario would leave cannabis sort of in a regulatory limbo for years, where minor policy tweaks might be implemented, but the full benefits of reclassification remain perpetually out of reach. Waiting for federal cannabis legalization is somewhat like standing by a glacier as it inches forward. Everyone assures you that change is happening and coming, but the slow pace is agonizing and seemingly absent. The third scenario is the worst. That's no change at all. In this situation, internal divisions and entrenched bureaucratic mindsets and the conservative leanings of key agencies keep cannabis locked in Schedule 1 indefinitely. For millions of patients who rely on cannabis for relief, and for an industry that has grown very large over the past decades, this would be a devastating setback. As one industry lawyer, me I guess, put it bluntly, if you thought Trump was going to rapidly legalize cannabis, you might need to adjust your expectations. Internal resistance could stall progress indefinitely. Let's talk a bit about what these classifications mean in practical terms. Under Schedule 1, cannabis remains subject to stringent federal restrictions that stifle cannabis research and impose severe tax burdens on legal businesses. For example, because cannabis is treated like heroin, businesses are denied ordinary deductions, forcing them to operate at a much higher effective tax rate. Conversely, reclassification to Schedule 3 would not only recognize its medical value, but would also allow companies to operate on a level playing field with other legal industries. This is very important in a sector that has already invested billions in compliance and innovation. Moreover, think about the impact on research. Currently, cannabis is one of the most difficult to study substances simply because of its Schedule 1 status. It creates huge regulatory hurdles. Researchers eager to explore its potential benefits for conditions like epilepsy, chronic pain, or PTSD are denied by red tape. Reclassification would pave the way for more extensive clinical trials and evidence-based assessments that could finally put science in control of the conversation. But let's not overlook the DEA's concerns. Their lengthy statement emphasized that unapproved cannabis and cannabis-derived products have not undergone rigorous FDA approval clinical trials needed to confirm safety and efficacy. These concerns are baseless. Cannabis can impair driving, affect cognitive functions, and potentially contribute to mental health issues. It's used as a drug for its psychoactive purposes, after all. Yet many in the scientific community argue that these risks are manageable and mostly overblown by stigma attached to the long criminalization of the cannabis plant. In states like Colorado, for example, adult-use cannabis has been legal for over a decade with strong regulatory systems in place that minimize abuse while maximizing other benefits. Politically, there's another layer. Polls show an overwhelming public support for medical cannabis reforms. Polls show approval rates as high as 88%. Voters see the outdated Schedule 1 classification as a relic that unjustly criminalizes millions. However, despite this public sentiment, the federal machinery seems determined to move on it not at all. It's like the difference between an instantaneous gratification of a smartphone app and the sluggish pace of 10,000 hours of concentrated practice to gain expertise. Let's circle back to Trump's own words. His support for decriminalization of marijuana, combined with his emphasis on a really concerted, lawful way to legalization. This suggests a kind of political tightrope. He wants to appeal to voters who are tired of the harsh penalties associated with cannabis, yet he's not willing to upend decades of conservative enforcement traditions. It's a balancing act that leaves us with an uncertain future. Imagine sitting through a DEA hearing where experts from every side debate the merits and risks of rescheduling cannabis. We may get one of those hearings in 2025 after the interlocutory appeal. The clock ticks away while the audience, cannabis businesses, researchers, patients, and you, wait with bated breath for a decision that could reshape an entire industry. It's a high-stake drama where the outcome is murky as heck, and every participant is playing for keeps and their own interests. And many are just labeling it all as hemp and selling as much as they can online and at every street corner store. In the meantime, the economic implications continue to mount for real cannabis licenses. Under Schedule 1, legal cannabis businesses are forced into a penalty box of sorts, paying much higher taxes and often getting debanked. If cannabis were rescheduled to Schedule 3, these businesses could finally access standard tax deductions and compliance with federal law, dramatically reducing their operations costs. And for an industry that has grown by leaps and bounds, this isn't just a technicality. It could be a windfall that could drive further investment and innovation. Jamie Dimon even said that JP Morgan would bank cannabis if it were legal to do so. Plus, for researchers, reclassification would be a dream come true. With fewer regulatory barriers, scientists could conduct comprehensive studies, develop new therapies, and even discover unexpected benefits of cannabis that could perhaps revolutionize medicine. But until the federal government catches up with public opinion and scientific evidence, researchers will continue to face a wall of bureaucratic obstacles. And so where do we stand? Based on these early signals, if you thought Trump was going to legalize it or at least reclassify cannabis rapidly, you may need to adjust your expectations. Internal resistance from Bondi's and also law enforcement's best friend, Derek Maltz, and his unwavering caution over the DEA, and then RFK saying it's the DEA's shot to call. This all points to a slow, incremental process at best, and possibly no change at all. Yet despite these challenges, the pressure from public opinion is undeniable. 88% of voters across the country are calling for federal medical marijuana, and most states have already taken bold steps to regulate cannabis in ways that contradict federal classification. Conflict of state-level innovation and federal inaction creates a tension that should force a change in long-held cannabis policies. As we wrap up, it's important to recognize that while swift federal reform may not be imminent, each small step brings us closer to acknowledging the medical and economic benefits of cannabis. And I value your perspective. Do you think public pressure will eventually overcome the entrenched positions within federal bureaucracy? Or are we facing a prolonged struggle? Your thoughts fuel this conversation, so please share them in the comments below. And if you found this discussion helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps us continue exploring these critical topics. Thank you for sticking with us through this deep dive into Trump's first few weeks of cannabis policy. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's keep pushing for progress. Even when it feels like we're waiting for a pizza that's forever stuck in the DoorDash app.
So let's get back to the topic. I've got the garlic in there. I'm gonna chop up this onion. I'm gonna put a little bit of water and I'm gonna just let those saute down. Is sugar like crack? What do you all know about the studies? Have you seen any studies? Are you familiar with this, that sugar is addictive? And one of the main ways that we get it is in our ultra processed foods. So anything that's processed or ultra processed, for example, if you're eating a tomato, that's just a whole food. If you turn that tomato into ketchup, if you turn that tomato into any sort of sauce, then it's processed. And it may be ultra processed, like a ketchup would be ultra processed, because you can't even recognize it anymore. If it's salsa, that would be processed because it has been changed, but it's not ultra processed, where there's been all these additives and all these different things happening with it. So we're just gonna rough chop our onion and put that in the pan. And remember, we're sauteing these all with a splash of water. Christiana, can you bring me the liquid aminos, please? Thank you. So liquid aminos, I'm going to use those as the salt here.
What up, Eastside? Good to see you. How you doing? Y'all know to go check out Eastsad's content over on his channel.
Dark vegetables and fruit
Great
come with extra
peoples.
stuff. Absolutely. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, right? But also the darker the berry, the sweeter the nutrients, like the darker the food. So Rainbow is saying dark vegetables and fruit come with extra stuff. So eat lots of colors in fruit and vegetables and eat from all over the world. It's ours to eat. Absolutely. So that's another good way to look at it. You know, when you think about it, you just have to say, okay, I'm going to eat the rainbow, as they say, but why are you eating the rainbow? Because the phytonutrients in the different foods are different. So you get vitamin A and carotene in carrots, or any orange vegetable, you'll find some of those same properties. So like butternut squash or pumpkin, those orange foods. Of course, the green foods you have, especially those leafy greens, right? Rainbow, thank you. Rainbow says, I love some okra. Absolutely. So I can't remember if okra has calcium in it. I can't remember the specific nutrients, but that's the nice thing. When you're eating the rainbow, you don't have to like count calories. You don't have to worry about, am I feeding my loved ones? Am I being a superfood parent? How am I feeding my, nope, you don't have to worry about it. You just know that you're already doing great when you actually are consuming whole foods. Let's say if you're a vegetarian, like David Hunt, he's a vegetarian, so he tries to eat a lot of whole foods. But if David and Michelle are over there eating processed and ultra processed foods, you can best believe that's where the sugar is hiding. The sugar is in the processing. It's sort of like a preservative. They know that it appeals to people's palate, and that sugar in most things is what makes you come back for more. So last night.
Today we are officially starting the flower stage for the Choose Our Consequences run. I'm happy we finally reached the fun part, so let's get into it.
Floor flex, AC affinity. You got some things going on over there. Let's see what they got. Good to see you, April. How you doing? I'm gonna go check out April showers.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Corey, and this is Inside Hydro. The time has finally come. It is officially flower, and I am really excited to see what these ladies put out. We actually have a brand new LED to set up for the flower area today. And also, I want to let you guys know, we do have a giveaway going on Instagram right now with Santa Cruz Shredders.
Well, definitely put that in your things to do list after you leave the chat. Go make sure you support the content and then pull back up on me. Hell, I'll even be here or you can be in the comments over here too. Replay games. I know I'll go check out April though. You know, shout out to April. Good to know she was live this morning, so I'll go support that.
So you have a pretty good chance of winning, actually.
Shout out to hitting in the comment section because like the bro was saying on his channel, make sure y'all like, comment, and keep me in your algorithm. That way you can see more of my content.
So last update we did a bunch of pre-flower prep, and I told you guys I would be flipping to flower in the following day or so. Well, I made a little white lie because I ended up letting them go for almost 4 days before we actually flipped. I just wanted them to be a little bit more full, so I gave them as much time as possible, but the lights have officially been switched to 12/12 for the last 3 days. Honestly, this is more of a transition period than it is really flower, but we're getting there. First things first, let's get this ugly old SP3000 out of here and make room for the new ion frame from AC Infinity. I'm really excited for this simply because this part of the room has kind of been neglected with this old LED. This side just never seems to perform like the other side, so I wanted to upgrade this LED before we did start budding. So this is a 280 watt full spectrum, and it's good for a 2x4 space, which is perfect for this little end of the canopy. The LED is pretty sick. There's even an LED screen on it. I can almost guarantee this is going to make a noticeable difference. So we are going to be continuing some light training in here as we enter flower for the first couple of weeks, at least to just make sure things are as evenly spaced as possible. I don't want to be stressing the plants out during this period, but we can still guide them into places without being super rough. I also took some time to double check the bottom canopy and just make sure we didn't miss anything from the cleanup portion.
Hello, Slobby T. Good to see you.
I
How
have
you
yet
doing?
to give them their first flower nutrient change, which we are going to do today, which means we are going to be switching lines back to Floraflex.
Apparently, he kicks it over on Instagram, so y'all know to go check out his Instagram. Hit up them 3 dots, right?
So we are aiming for a 1.5 EC. We ended up going 0.5 mil per gallon of silica,
Yeah, he's got
2
a
mil
nice
per gallon of
RDWC set
CalMag,
up.
2 grams per gallon of B1, 2 grams per gallon of
He's got a
B2,
pump going straight from
0.75
a
grams of
big ass fucking
OTB,
trash
and then 20
can
milliliters of
right into his
Orca.
fucking grow. And it's all RDWC, so I appreciate that. You know, he got his
Now, it
pipes
is a little
going.
bit more work when it
He
comes
said,
to mixing
yeah,
powders, but
yeah,
I think
good
we
lines.
have a better grasp of what's going in.
Easy setup, knocks
And
itself
let's just
out.
take a second to look at the post-pro rating for the last week. As you can see, I have been trying to fix and adjust things to stay stable for the entire week,
Shouts out
pretty
to
much.
Inside
We were
Hydro, because he
experiencing
knocked me
heavy
out the
drops,
park with
which is
that
why we are
RDWC
feeding at a
system.
1.5 today. You can also see that every time I raised the
Got them
EC
things
drop
looking real good,
was
real good.
less drastic until we eventually reach a point where it stayed pretty much even. And that's what we're looking for. One thing I did say in the last video that was having people a little bit confused was when I talked about the PPFD. I had told you guys that we were running about a 350 here in veg, and I was going to be upping it to a 600 in flower. And what I really meant was I was going to be upping it to 600 as we transition and continuing to up it to about 850 to 900 for the middle of flower until eventually we start to turn it back down while we finish. Since we are running a lower PPFD here in veg, I like to gradually turn things up as we go into flower instead of blasting them right away. Also, the reason the numbers are kind of low comparatively speaking to other people's setups is because we don't supplement any CO2 in here. Now, to be completely honest, I am not an electrician or lighting expert. I just kind of go off what it seems like the plants want or need and what makes them most happy. So let me know in the comment section what your PPFD looks like throughout your grow. Maybe I'm lacking somewhere. I'm not gonna lie, this lighting section looks so much better with the new LED. The other one, although it was rated for this amount of space, didn't seem like it was quite big enough. Not to mention, it is like 4 years old. Now that we have these ladies in flower, we can begin to get the other side ready for veg. We already have the beans picked out. We just need to time things accordingly so that we are ready to go once these plants finish out. But we do have a couple more things. We need a new tent for the other side before we can really do any of that. So you can expect some upgrades coming for this side as well. I'm super excited to have a tent that has built-in side windows. That alone will be a major improvement. But alright boys, that is pretty much it until next week. I will see you guys soon. Make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already. Say what's up down in the comment section, and I will see you guys next week. Stay up, stay high, peace.
Everybody in New York was calling to get down with Mr. Nice Guy. We met all kinds of customers, like this guy here. He's what we call an enhancement smoker, because he thinks that marijuana makes every activity that much better.
Mi casa es su casa.
Observe.
You're Scarface, right?
Yeah.
I love Al Pacino, man. Did you ever see Son of a Woman? You ever seen Son of a Woman on weed? That's the way to see it, man. It's just whack.
$60, yo.
Cool, man. I got it. Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill, man?
No, I don't know, yo.
Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill? On weed? Oh, there's some weird shit in there, man. There's a dude sitting in the bushes, man. Does he have a gun? I don't know, man. I don't know. What? Red team go. Red team go. It's just some weird shit, man.
Man, you're fucking crazy, yo.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, man. Hey, yo, wait. Dude, I'm gonna check out the stars later. It's really trippy. Especially on weed, man.
What's up? Yeah, when you came to that stop sign, you didn't come to a complete stop.
Oh, stop.
You didn't stop. You have an ID on you, man?
2-4, go ahead. He says it's just weed. It's not like cooking stuff, but I told him I'm gonna hold on to it anyway.
So in today's episode, we're going to have a look at some recently released body camera footage of where a routine traffic stop turns into a police drug bust. But it actually raises a deeper question, an overarching question, a bigger question, if you will. Is there an increasing number of instances where herb is being laced with other stuff, particularly things like fentanyl? But I'll let you guys have a think about that for yourselves and answer that question as we have a look at some of this body camera footage. So let's just get straight on into it. Now, I decided to do a little bit of research to determine if there's been any deaths related to weed which has been laced with fentanyl. According to this article, Cannabis Safety New York Department of Health says there have been no verified incidents of fentanyl-laced cannabis. Now, I decided to do a little bit of further research, and this article published by what looks to be a Florida-based company suggests that in the Connecticut story, the 39 people who reportedly overdosed all said that they'd used only marijuana. However, those overdoses led to only one confirmed case of fentanyl-laced marijuana. Investigators now say accidental contamination likely caused that. And it actually goes on to say that in Idaho, for example, there was a story about a couple arrested for selling fentanyl-laced weed. They've since been arrested and charged with multiple crimes. So I looked into that story, and you guys can see the two people right here, and they were indeed booked with those two offenses, and this is back in 2012. You can check it out and read it for yourself. But it does seem that there are instances where fentanyl-laced marijuana has been a thing, but it does not seem that there are very many verifiable deaths to that extent.
But the Akron officers on routine patrol noticed a silver Chevy Malibu blow through a stop sign. What started as a simple traffic stop quickly turned into something much bigger.
How you doing? I'm Officer Coleman with the Akron Police Department. What's up? Yeah, when you came to that stop sign, you didn't come to a complete stop.
Oh, stop.
You didn't stop. You have an ID on you, man?
Bro, officers already petting the dog in the front seat. Oh, got no ID or...
Let's leave the house.
Any kind of weapons in the car? No guns or nothing like that? No? Alright, just hang tight, okay?
Yeah, but now you get a ticket for not having your dog in the seatbelt.
We just sped it up a bit while he was on the camera that was blurred out.
Yeah. It'll just weed. He says it's just weed. It's for like cooking stuff, but I told him I'm gonna hold on to it anyway, just for now. So.
You got anything else in the car?
No, like you told him, I said you can check if you want to.
You care if we do?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. I'm just gonna have you step out, and then I'm gonna pat you down for weapons just to be safe, okay? You can just leave that on the seat, yeah. Is it cool if I check your pockets?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go step back between here. Are your dogs gonna be okay with us?
Yeah. I've already been. They got a test kit.
Yeah, they're in the back.
I go into jail or something, I'll grip. Like, I don't got no warrants in that, do
You ain't got no warrants. You don't have a license, though. You're suspended.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, it's only been for a couple months, though.
What? It's been for a couple months.
back in July.
Yeah, no, I did not. Honestly,
You get like a citation or something?
I did get in a car accident, but nothing was ever finalized.
You weren't cited for it?
I was cited for it. I went to court and it was postponed. And the only thing I've gotten in the mail was a letter from Progressive stating that they're seeking $4,200, well, 50 something, but they were settling for $4,200, and that they were sending a letter to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles to request to suspend my license.
Okay.
Not that they had.
So from what our computer is saying, it's just your license was suspended because there was a fee. I'm assuming that you didn't pay or something along the sorts. So I'm assuming it's probably from that accident.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if it's from that or not.
Was that accident here in Akron? Okay. Okay.
7, go ahead.
Why don't we just, you mind just taking the seat in the back of our car for now?
It's going to be 1-0. Sit on the curb.
I'd prefer you to sit in the car.
7, 9, 8. Gotta go to the car. Grab my phone at least.
I'll grab it for you.
Car's looking mini jail. Mini jail inside that car. Look at the bottom.
That pouch, is that going to test positive for anything? No?
Like, just be honest with me. Am I going to, like, am I under arrest or going to jail?
Right now, you're just detained.
Alright, for what?
Now, I believe they found something in that pouch. I believe that is what he said was herb. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what he claims it was. The police will run tests on it, and we will find out what's actually going on in this case. So let's
as far as just because of the traffic stop, and plus you don't also have you're suspended, which is a arrestable offense. I'm not trying to arrest you on it, but right now you're obviously detained, okay? So there's nothing else in the vehicle, correct? Okay.
There is a plastic pen that I use to smoke roach, so you can even smell the smell of marijuana on the tip.
Okay, have you smoked recently in the car? Have you smoked recently at all?
No, I haven't smoked since I was at home, probably about 2-3 hours ago.
So somewhat recent?
Like I said, I'm honestly cool. I'm not high.
Trust me, I'm not trying to hit you with an OVI.
No.
Okay, I appreciate it.
So right there, you guys can see how tricky things can get when they start asking you questions and you start volunteering too much information. He was already getting tripped up. They were already tricking him up and asking him, like, when was the last time that you actually consumed? How much did you consume? Did you consume in the car? Did you consume at home? And he started to volunteer too much information. He was like, about 2-3 hours ago while I was at home. Now, I know you can get really flustered while you're under pressure from the police or in the car and all that type of stuff. But you gotta remember, keep it limited. Keep it limited, and always, if you can, call your lawyer. But in this situation, things are gonna unfold in a pretty crazy way. So let's keep watching. Two dogs. Snap. Coach wallet. Dog leashes. What's that? A timer? A wire something? Wire cup brush. Okay. Wallet. No cash in it. Another wallet. Oh damn, bro. Someone in the comments really did say, bro, this dude's got so many wallets, no cash. What's going on with this guy? Something's up. Crazy. One card just sitting out of the wallet. Is this bro running fraud? Damn, what is that? A weed whacker in the background? Like, jeez.
Any car in the area, 4th District, Ashburn Road, COC with a lockout kit. 14, go ahead. Go ahead and bring right out. I copy 14, 73.
wants to go into the back. It's like, yo, I don't know this book, but I gotta get the back of my bro.
No.
Oh, your daddy's done some stupid shit. He about to go to jail. Nah, I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see.
Do you agree that that's purple?
I think I have the other types of test kits in there somewhere for
The Nick, or the
other.
I mean, that's fucking.
I mean, it's definitely dark.
Yeah.
So
let's do one of those two just to be safe.
yeah.
I did the MDMA one. It was red, so I didn't hit it. I've never done it. So I've never done the new ones.
I'll come back in. They're pretty simple.
Bro, okay, he's talking way too much. As you guys can see right there, we're gonna hop back into that video and hear exactly what he's got to say. But if you guys are getting value from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us further, cop some merch or join the ICANN VIP Bean Club. But here's what not to do. If you get pulled over, do not talk too much and volunteer too much information. Here's what this guy does, and here's what this guy says. He literally rats on the plug. Check it out.
Honestly, I buy my shit off of one of my friends. So I don't know if he gets it, if he gets it, you know what I mean? So we're all necessary.
Probably this one. Yeah, opiates meth.
So pretty much, you just pull that middle tab out all the way, and then you can put that, and then you're gonna put it back halfway in, and then just like these, you're gonna break these two things, and then push that all the way in, and then shake it.
You're gonna shake it out, okay.
My car's good.
I didn't finish searching it yet.
So you said halfway.
Yeah, put it in about halfway, and then you can break the two sides, and then push it all the way down, and shake.
See, what he's doing right now is what he should have done the whole time. Stay quiet and shut the fuck up. Because if they find anything on you, like a pipe or something like that, they're gonna have to test it, bro. Some sort of cracked pipe looking thing, it's gonna be...
Fentanyl can look dirty like that.
It's gonna have to be tested. Looks like fentanyl.
Yeah. 13.
Let's just give us a little bit more time just to be safe. It's definitely getting darker. Yeah.
Stop out open. And just face the car, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put your hands behind your back.
Is there something in there?
I'll let you know. Like you're praying.
Please help me out.
Like I said, I'll explain it to you in a second, okay?
Is something on my registry or something?
Take a seat again. So that baby that you gave my partner tested positive for fentanyl.
No way, man. I promise.
That's why we have test kits.
Please. I mean,
I could show you everything I have. So contact of who I got it from.
Just hold on for a second, okay? I'm going to read you your rights real quick, and then we can continue having our conversation, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, you want to be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. Decide at any time to exercise these rights or not, and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
Sure.
And then having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us? Okay. So, like then.
I don't know. I thought it was weed.
Where'd you thought that was weed?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been smoking it like it was weed. I've been rolling it in the... Like, people don't... You know, I need to smoke fentanyl out of a... I don't know what they're putting...
How long have you been using? Anything in general? Anything in general?
I've been smoking weed my whole life since I was 17.
So you've never been smoking dope?
No. I swear on everything. I don't...
Have you ever been arrested for dope?
No.
Never?
I've never been arrested for possession, never been arrested for none of that stuff. Okay.
I'm going to ask you one more time. Is there any other thing in the car that we should be aware about?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So because right now you are going to go to jail. You're going to be in the possession of the fentanyl. Is there anybody that can come pick up those two dogs?
Yeah, and can I get... Will I have a bond today, or...?
So, today's Saturday. More likely you'll be out on Monday morning. So you'll probably have to stay there all day tomorrow since it's the weekend. And then on Monday morning, you'll have your arraignment with the judge.
Bro, you're arrested on a Friday. That's the worst thing about getting arrested on a Friday or a Saturday. You're going to spend the whole weekend in jail. So if you're doing some shit, hope you get arrested during the week. Because if not, you're going to have to spend the weekend in jail. Because no one works on the weekend.
Who can we call to pick up those dogs?
Can I call her real quick?
Is it the person that you have on the phone? What's her name?
Sandra.
Sandra? Does she live nearby? Okay. Just hang tight.
I talk to her before I go to jail. I know how it is. I know like the first couple of weeks. And
I don't think you're going to be there that long.
It's going to be rough for me, man.
Okay. Just watch your foot, okay?
Fentanyl. It's fucking crazy.
Positive for heroin and fentanyl. Oh my. And I think he's an offender. I think he's actually a sex offender, but let's see.
If I unlock your phone for you?
Can I do it with my nose?
With my nose, bro? What is this guy doing, bro? And I see why you have that hand.
I'll hold the phone for you while we're on the phone call.
Bro, like, you got your hand, just fucking use your fingers, bro. Like, what's up with the nose thing? You still use your finger.
Hi, is this Sandra?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Officer Cole with the Acton Police Department. How are you?
Good.
Are you available right now to come pick up Billy's two dogs?
Yes.
Okay. We are on Dayton Street near Glenwood. If you're able to come our ways to pick up his two dogs for us.
Okay, I got it now.
Okay. Yeah, and he wants to speak with you.
Hello.
I know, it's stupid. I stopped smoking for the 14 days. You know, I start smoking again. Guess what somebody put inside the marijuana? They put other drugs inside the marijuana, so now I'm going to jail for something I didn't know. Honestly.
Bro, heroin and fentanyl is found in there, bro. Heroin and fentanyl. So calling Granny or whoever that is and being like, yo, guess what they found in my marijuana? Someone put heroin in. Bro, that's crazy to me. I definitely don't think that's what happened. But things get even crazier because I think he outs the plug in front of the police on the body cam. So let's check this out.
Feels better than dying. Even if you knew or not, like this, again, you might have gone, smoked this, ate it, whatever. You didn't know that was in there, or, allegedly and whatnot.
Yeah, now I'm going to have a possession that I didn't, is there any way I can, how do I do this?
So the whole court system, that you'll be able to talk it out with them. That's what that's for.
They didn't show us up close what they actually found and what it looked like. But let's keep it rolling.
Like, I've never done anything like that in my life.
Okay. Just make your phone call short, and then so that we can get her on the way.
Can you help me while I'm in prison, like, or in jail? Can you, like, so maybe I need to come home Monday, maybe pay money for me to come home?
Yes, I pay.
And I need to call you somehow, and I don't have your number in my head.
Your phone's gonna go with you. So after we're done here, I'll turn it off for you so it doesn't die, because I know it's low. So once
you have that number memorized,
I can even write it down for you too.
Sandra, I'm so sorry, and I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. This is so bad for me. Hey Siri.
I ain't got no worry.
I see you in 1 second, okay? I maybe not talk to you.
Okay.
What kind of
broken English?
What do you look? Yeah, do you catch her now?
We're at Dayton Street.
Almost by my house.
And Glenwood. Do you know where he lives?
Yeah.
We're 1 street to the west.
Okay, I drive it now.
Okay, what kind of vehicle are you going to be coming in?
Ford, a small car Ford.
A small Ford?
Yeah, color blue tank. Yes.
Okay, alright. Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay. And maybe in 5 minutes.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you very much. Bye.
And can I send one message?
I don't do text messages.
I don't even have to. I can just say, hey Siri, message OG.
What do you want to say?
I'm going to jail right now because there was fentanyl in the weed.
Okay, send it.
Sorry. You want me to write down her phone number for you?
Yeah, the information.
Go ahead,
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my whole life, bro. Dude literally just texted the plug through Siri. Siri, text OG, tell him I'm getting arrested because of some weed you sold me with fucking fentanyl in it, bro. Dude, what? Siri's like, okay, message sent. Dude, that's gotta be the craziest thing I think I've ever seen, guys. Smash the like for that.
Disregard, sorry.
Also, can you write down Journey's phone number?
J-O-U?
Yeah, J-U. Let me just go to my messages. That's give me the third number.
That one?
Yeah. And even like I told her, look, go. I'll give you permission. Go scroll it up. Dude, I feel so stupid right now.
Well, like my partner was saying, since you didn't, if what you're saying is true that you didn't know that the fentanyl was in there and you did end up smoking it, using it, or however you use, the smallest amount of fentanyl will kill you. Do you want me to go ahead and turn off your phone so it saves the battery?
Yeah.
And this will go with your property when you get booked in, okay?
And I won't be able, like, if I got booked in yesterday, I would have been able to post bond yesterday?
Potentially.
But because it's the weekend, I can't post bond?
Not until the beginning of the week, yes.
You'll probably be a judge Monday morning.
Yeah.
So, I know sometimes lately they've been having arraignments on the weekends, but it's kind of rare. I'm not trying to get your hopes up for it, but it's been happening lately, so it's a possibility. We're not affiliated with the jail whatsoever. That's all Summit County, so I can't give you an exact answer. But you don't have anything tucked anywhere. You don't have anything up your bum or anything.
Nothing. Do a body scanner, but if you got anything else, I'll give you that.
I don't need to lie to you guys, man. Like I said, I'm a sex offender. Like, I got enough shit to worry about besides doing drugs.
We're not worried about that, man.
You know what? You've been honest with us from the get-go. I appreciate you. We're not trying to give you a hard time, bro. You've been cool with us. We're gonna be cool with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, we're trying to save you an extra charge.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Anything you take.
Because once you get past the second doors of the jail,
even I'm in here, if I had something on me, I know.
Well, that's completely separate. But once you get past the intake part of the jail, it becomes a felony if you were to bring anything else in on top of the possession. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
so we don't actually.
The driver, later identified as Billy Ridenour, is currently facing charges of possession of drugs, fentanyl-related compound, illegal use or possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of drugs, heroin.
So he got snatched, got booked for heroin, possession, paraphernalia, for a lot of things. But it really raises the bigger question, is herb being laced with fentanyl in the black market, the illicit market? Think about that, drop it in the comments down below. And just like how this guy got pulled over from a routine traffic stop, recently laws have been changing when it comes to probable cause if police say that they smell something on you. So check that video out because it's coming up right now.
Let's discuss my payment. That time is past. No 5,000 for you. The price is 50. How about your payment is you get to leave? Not enough. Oh, you think you can negotiate with me? I say the word my nephews go to a certain motel, pay a visit to your daughter-in-law and your little granddaughter. What do you think happens then? Consider your position carefully. I got my money. Or neither of us walk out of here. You willing to die for this? Maybe I need the 50,000 more than you do.
He said negotiating with Hector. Shouts out to the videos. Y'all know to hit me up. I'll be back in the morning.